Hello everybody, it's time for a Soul Says. And you already know how the intros go about how, I'm not perfect at this shit, this recording shit. I just got done talking about doing favors for my old man. Well, one favor. It's kind of a silly one. That was weird. I need to get away from this thing. My earphones got caught up in the damn thing. And the fan thing. Anyway, where was I trying to get at? Yes, I'm about to talk about Panera. You already know the intro. It's not going to be perfect. Gonna mess up, make errors, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, to Panera. My sister, she wanted to help me find some place to work, to make some money, all that. Just doing what's right for a family member. And I respect that. So let's remember the nice stuff. I mean, not nice stuff. Let's remember how good my sister did for me right there. Let's remember that. Anyway, the first interview was during the summertime. I was working with my dad doing the Yellow Pages, which is a story I wish I would have told before I started doing the Panera story. But I get to that later too. So we went to an interview, right? He's some balding guy, some older man, and he looked at like some kind of Danny DeVito looking person. I ain't gonna say fat, I don't like that. I like to say big people or something. It's just wrong to call somebody just fat straight up. It's wrong. I don't like that. I'm not comfortable with it. I dated a big woman. I don't want to call her fat. But sometimes we make fun of each other. And I said, yo, fat ass. And or she calls me with a bitch ass. And she says, you're fat too. Never mind. I'm going on track here. I'm thinking about funny moments. I'm talking about all this stuff that's going on in my life. But I like doing this. I like telling stories because people don't know that much about me. But sometimes talking about your experiences at jobs, you're working, it always gives you stories to tell, believe it or not. People be asking me how my day is and whatnot. Anyways, back to this guy. I was describing him and I went on a whole different thing. Yeah, he had on glasses, blah, blah, blah. He was like some Danny DeVito looking guy, blah, blah, blah. We're there. He interviews me, he talks. Of course, I came to the table, I shook this man's hand, I'm looking him in the eye. Sometimes you gotta put on that interview disguise. Act like a drone for a little bit, listen to what they gotta tell you, while they read this stuff to you, you go over all that stuff. So, he went through all that, and I told him that, I would have to think about it because I'm currently doing a whole different, work. Like I was letting him know that I was working. I was doing something else that involved me working along those lines. So he was like, okay, cool. It's like, okay, cool, boom, whatever. Shook his hand, right? So, the rest of the day, I'm working with my father or whatever. And fast forward, I come back home. And so everybody just, we just talking about how the day went, everything's cool, whatever. And it's nighttime, I'm getting ready to eat. And as soon as I grab my plate and about to go upstairs past the living room, my grandmother was like, hey, your sister called and she said that the man said you wasn't looking him in the eye. I'm like, what the fuck? I was looking at him. I mean, we were sitting at a table where it's like if you was on a date and you right there and your date is right there and y'all looking at each other, that eye contact, That's how me and this man was talking to each other during the interview, because you're supposed to have that focus. That's how they know that you are that shows that interest when you're looking them in the eye. And that's what was going on. I was listening to this man, but the other side of me, I didn't like his personality, because he was coming off a little bit as an asshole. Anyway, after all this bullshit with the Yellow Pages job, yeah, trust me, it was bullshit. That's all over, and the Panera job comes up again. I was kind of frustrated, because I was like, I just got done working this job, and I just want to chill. But it's all this stuff, like what I said in the other job. I mean, in the other videos. It's the shit about you need a job, you need to make money. How you gonna live? Blah, 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 blah. If you don't do this, then blah, blah, blah. This, that, negative bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. That's all I kept hearing for like the past few days. And my dad, he was like, yeah, you should do it, blah, blah, blah. Like, what the, like, why are you even fucking talking right now? Anyways, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll just try it. They want you to try it. And like, if you don't like it, don't do it anymore. Bullshit. Because then you'll be saying that, oh, why you quit the job? Why you leave the job? And all that shit. You must didn't want to work there. You know, shit like that is what I get. People just don't be fucking satisfied. Anyways, I do the job, and pretty much my job was like to stock things. I can do that because I did that at Goodwill, which is another bullshit thing I dealt with, but that's another story. Anyways, that was simple shit, just putting boxes up and stuff. But the thing was, man, this was a whole different beast at Goodwill. At least at Goodwill, you knew the temperature was okay in that motherfucker. But in this place, I had to go in deep freezers, like deep storage rooms, where the temperature was cold, because it was like ice cream and frozen food and shit like that. And it was 3 different freezers. One of them wasn't as cold, but 2 of them, holy shit. I didn't like the 3rd one because that 3rd one stank. It had good ice cream in there, but oh my god, I don't know what was in there, but it smelled like boo boo. I didn't like it. And this is the winter time too, so I'm wearing that winter suit that you gotta pull up with, like on the pants, then you gotta zip it up. My folks bought me that, just looking out for me, right? They bought me a mask. And the jacket and the the little suit, whatever, had like a hood, so I was able to put over my head. And this is just convenient for me because I'm going in freezers. It's cold as shit. I gotta double up on clothes too. That's how cold it was. That's how really cold it was. And I had to have boots on. I had to double up on socks. So I'm in these freezers. I gotta be really careful on these ladders too. I gotta make sure I don't hurt and injure myself, because there's a hard surface on the ground. So one little slip up and I'm probably gonna break something. Mind you, it's cold in there. So falling on that would probably be falling like on some hard ass ice. And you know what happens. You know how what happens if you fall on some fucking ice. Sometimes you can break your fucking ass. So I did everything right. I made sure I didn't hurt myself and all that stuff. Then after that, gotta do little bit of catering. Gotta do the dishes. That's easy shit. That's easy shit. If you at home, you washing dishes, that ain't shit. All you gotta do is just put in the water, make sure you get all the food off and all that shit. Make sure that motherfucker is clean. Don't put in no dirty ass water. Make sure you put it in the right water. And then you put it in the thing, you put it in this machine thing where all you gotta do is put the dishes on the thing. It's you pull this lever, it comes down, and it does like some drying kind of shit. And you take the dishes, you pile them up, and you prepare them for the people so they can get ready to serve everybody. So that is cool. I like the dishes part better because all you doing is just preparing shit for everybody else. You gotta take the dishes and you gotta put them under the table, where around the register and shit. Anyway, that was my era there. All right, so we know the first job I gotta do. We know the second job I gotta do. Third job is pretty much the stocking stuff. This time you're doing it on the outside, and you gotta make sure that the stuff goes where it needs to go. The parts I don't like is where you gotta do it like real high, because some of these boxes are kind of tricky, and you gotta make sure you don't fuck it up. And sometimes you gotta put like the cups up. You gotta make sure those are in order. You gotta make sure it's the right size. Not the right size, but the right side. You gotta make sure the stacks is facing this way. And it gets crazy because sometimes the stuff can get loose and the cups might go all over the place. It could be, you gotta just not play with it, but sometimes you gotta take your time, of course. But since you be on the clock and they want you to hurry up and do it, you gotta do this shit like fucking fast. You gotta be fast paced and shit at certain jobs, like Amazon, which is another story I can't wait to talk about. Holy shit, that's crazy. I'm thinking about all these other jobs I was at just by talking about Panera, because it's like one job reminds me of the fucking other. It's crazy. Anyways, since we know about the jobs and we know what I gotta do, I was doing other tasks as well. Some of them that I didn't even sign up for. I thought I was just supposed to be like doing the stocking in the freezers, washing dishes, and then doing the stock on the outside. I keep saying the outside, I'm still in the back, but it's like this time I don't have to wear a suit and go in fucking freezers. I guess the corridor. I would just say the corridor in the back, where everybody washing the dishes and shit at. That's pretty much where you just not in front of the public. Because my sister wanted to do that for me, since I don't really interact much with everybody. But I still got along with people, because it was cool. It was a cool atmosphere. Just some of the managers, they seemed like a bit on the asshole side, I guess, because they was wearing different color shirts and they just felt like really fucking special. And just because you got some different color shirt, that shouldn't make you a piece of shit towards everybody else. We get it, you got a little bit of power, but just calm that fucking shit down. Anyways, glad I got that out the way, because that's a point I had to make, because that was about Amazon, because it reminds me of Amazon and it reminds me of custom products. It's gonna be hard to talk about that custom products, because